Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State, the voice of college football call-in show. I'm your host, Garrison Gaddy. Ryan Stanos, he'll be at here. Ryan Stanos will be here pretty soon. Here, everybody. Until then, it'll just be myself and you. First off, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any other family members who just sadly but happen to not to be Buckeye fans, go ahead and show them around the other channels that we have around here, whether it be North Carolina fans, Tennessee fans, Team Up North fans, anybody that may be Nebraska. We have it here at the Voice of College Football, so be sure to check that out. Before we get started here, everybody, if you haven't already and you would like to, please join the community. Also, join the memberships that we have. You can see here on the bottom here, the Block O Club. JT wasn't sure, and of course, we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. Now, let's get started, everybody. First off, thank you for being here. I see we have a couple people in here. Sam, I don't think I've seen Sam Double O in here before, but IO to you, buddy. Yeah, my guy Robert in here. Robert's always good to see you. Says here, give me Bo Agason and Demar Smith, and I'm good. Yeah, Robert, I actually do want to talk about that because I want to see what do you think having Bo Agason would do for the defense? I think it would do a lot for us. I think it would work out tremendously, and there's a few reasons for that football wise. But what are your thoughts on that? Got my guy David Greenshield, IO, best believe. Got Buckeyes dog player. Good to see you guys. Elias Rudolph is about to be in the portal. Yeah, I saw that coming out of Miami. If you guys don't remember, Elias Rudolph, based out of Ohio, uh, he was actually I think committed to so Ohio State was on very. And then let me know if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure he had committed to the team up north and then decommitted from Miami. But it's very interesting to see him coming out of there. From what I've been told, or not from what I've been told, from what I've seen and heard, he was kind of lower on the depth chart there. They said around like fifth or sixth, fourth, fifth or sixth. So probably wasn't getting the playing time he wanted. Also, I mean, a lot of that. I mean, if we're just kind of guessing, he went down there for NIL. It seems like, I mean, going to Ohio State or going to even the team up north, that would have worked out better for him had he done that. Excuse me here, but I'm actually going to take these off real quick because I don't like them. There we go. But again, everyone, if we do get Elias Rudolph, I think it'll be very I don't think we will get him, but he seems like someone that he made a decision based off of money, and so I wouldn't go after him in the portal. I think he's a bit undersized for my taste. I prefer the bigger guys on the edge. I mean, even look at CJ Hicks. CJ Hicks is bigger than Elias Rudolph is. He's barely even been putting on the weight. But come here real quick. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? This is my little cousin right here. What's up, buddy? What's up? Buddy, hug. All right, so guys, wait, you want to say hi, Ethan? Come say hi, everybody. Everyone, this is my little cousin, Ethan. He's in second grade right here. Say, we're hanging out for the next couple of days. You say hi, everybody?
Hi.
Say OH.
OH.
All right, go back. I'll see you later, okay? I love you. All right, everyone, that's my cousin, Ethan, right there. He's just a good kid right there. Real good kid. But yeah, I don't think we'll get Elias Rudolph. Dave, good to see you in here, man. Always good to see you in here. Where is that? There we go. Hello, Buckeyes. Mark Williams says, is Larry Johnson going to be able to get the DN from UNC? When is his last big commitment? His last big commitment. And by the way, everyone, sorry about this. I'm going to go ahead and put the call in the chat here. So for anyone with a call, again, this is your show, everyone. I get tired of hearing myself talk to a point, so love to have you guys call and talk some football with me. But is Larry Johnson going to do it? I don't know. Do I trust Larry Johnson to do it, Mark? No, I do not. I think this is a situation when you're talking about a kid coming out of the portal, right? and this is a very impact type of our team. I believe that you should go through who Matt Patricia, who is a front seven type of guy, and you go through Ryan Day. Because at the end of the day, this is also about culture fit. And I think you want to figure out if he is a culture fit or not. Which is, we know he can play football. That's not the thing for us. The question is, do you fit what Ohio State is trying to accomplish? That's all that matters. But I'm gonna read a few more of these comments. We're gonna get our first caller up here. Yeah. They are deep. So, can you go undefeated before the Michigan game? Tim, you're up next. I think you're gonna hold you after that stuff, buddy. Robert, good to see you too, Garrett. And I think Ryan Thomas would be a perfect fit and could fill a much needed depth piece up the middle. Robert, I agree with you. I'm gonna let Tim call in, and then I'll touch on this. I'm gonna say this for you, Robert. I do want to touch on this, yeah, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Ethan says IO back. Appreciate that, Robert. He's a good kid, man. My cousin moved in with us, so I'm really happy for him. Awesome kid. Wouldn't I wish to roll from. We're gonna bring our first caller here. The guy from the base. Tim, how you doing, man?
Good.
Everything gravy with you?
Yeah. For some reason, they keep hyping up the Arch Manning and the rest of the Longhorn that they're gonna do the same thing they did in the big house, but this time they're gonna do it in the shoe. Yeah, they're hyping them up.
So, Tim, a lot of people are hyping them up, and listen, if people want to hype up Texas, they can be my guest. But look, at the end of the day, Texas lost 4 offensive linemen. Now, do I think their defense will still be good? Yes. I think they're going to be just like Ohio State, where they're going to take a step back defensively, but they'll still be good enough. But they lost guys in their secondary. They lost Jardine Barron, their best DB player. Now they do bring back Colin Simmons, a really good linebacker, and I forgot the other edge player's name. But I don't fear what Texas has. I don't.
Who you think lost more on defense, Ohio State or Texas?
I think Ohio State lost more, but I also think that we're able to replenish better than they did. I mean, Texas lost 15 players. A lot of people forget that when they talk about it. And everyone always says, oh, well, they have Arch Manning. Well, that's fine. But if you're gonna say Texas wins, you have to tell me, you gotta tell me
they
why.
Lost Isaiah Baum, and they lost another wide receiver weapon. They lost 2.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Tim. And again, I don't want people thinking that I'm just being biased here. I know what Ohio State lost, but we bring back key parts of our defense at every single level. And then on offense, we bring back 4 linemen that have started, 3 of them who are started through the playoffs. We bring back 2 of our starting wide receivers. One of them is the best player in the nation. Look, I think Texas. I think it's gonna be a good game. Thankfully, it's in Columbus, but I don't know. I think as of right now, and it's hard to call, but I would pick us to win that game.
Yeah, I saw that spring game. I didn't like the way that they gave a whole bunch of yards to James People though. He not no Trayvon or no
Junkins.
Junkins, so they should have been able to tackle him left and right with ease.
I mean, well, look, listen. It all depends. I mean, we don't know we don't know what we don't know yet. So could you be right, Tim? Yeah, maybe he's not as good as Travion. Maybe he's not as good as Junkins. I think there's a chance that he's better than both of them, but we have to see it first. You're right about that. The same way, I believe Jordan Marshall is going to be a better running back than what Blake Corum is as a whole. But Jordan Marshall still has to go out there and prove it, right? So that's what it is for a lot of these young guys.
They saying that Marshall, he could be the next Blake, but the difference is he just taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still about 1 to 2 inches shorter than Donovan Edwards. His height and his
I,
height. He
oh,
could have been a quarterback
but
at his height or wide
I think
receiver,
Donovan Edwards sucks.
huh?
I think Donovan Edwards sucks.
Oh,
I don't think he's good at all.
so it's not even that 22 year.
That's 1 year.
Yeah,
So he was really good in the 22 year. I believe he rushed for like 800 yards that season. He had a really good season that year, but then he followed it up with 2 bad years. So had he continued, I think if Donovan Edwards had continued to deliver what he did in the big games and big spots, mind you, Donovan Edwards wasn't an every down running back, but I think had he excelled past that, I would give him more credit. I would call him a better player, but it's just hard to when I think you can't run hard. He's not Blake Corum. He's not Chris Perry. He's not Mike Hart.
I feel like the D tackles they need to hit the weight room.
At Michigan?
No,
At Ohio State?
Yeah, because Kylie Williams and the other guys they looked bigger.
No,
They was about
yeah.
300 something pounds, and these guys that they're supposed to will replace them. They look they now their weight is telling me that they should be playing on the outside, but Ryan Day wants them to play on the inside though.
So, yeah, we did lose Tyleek in Ty last year, but and they were big guys. But so we do bring back.
Yeah, hard, but y'all lost him the previous season, so
Yeah,
he
but
don't count.
but we do bring back Ty Hamilton, right? Not Ty Hamilton, but Ty McDonald. He lost weight. He's about 320, 325 pounds. At the other defensive tackle spot is going to be Edric Houston. Now, Edric Houston's about 270. He ranged between 270, I'll say about 270, 280, right? Now, he can play the edge and the inside. And the good thing about him is this, right? A lot of bigger guys have shorter arms where, and this is what I'm going to get to also, Robert, once Tim and I are done here, I'm going to talk about this a little bit. But he's longer, and when you're at defensive tackle, if you're a longer, more athletic guy, you're going to have the advantage. So I do think we have that. I think Ohio State is looking for something different than what they had last year. Last year, our defensive line as a whole was huge, very strong in the run game. We look at Jack Sawyer and JTT, who are both around 6'2", 6'3", 265, 270 pounds. I think you're going to see a much different offensive line this year from Ohio State. Like, it could struggle against powerful run games. It could.
But can they stop the offensive line?
Tim,
The injury bug?
I don't even right now. Your offensive line is a question, so I don't know what they need to stop.
No, I'm talking about yours.
Is our offensive line going to be good?
No, can Ryan Day stop the injury problems? Y'all have.
I mean, that's not. I mean, that's all the injury problems at Ohio State. No, yeah, the injuries that Ohio State's offensive linemen had last year are all like that's something Ryan Day couldn't prevent. That's nothing Mariotti, our strength and conditioning coach, that's nothing he could have prevented. That's stuff that just happens in everyday football when MCLs, ACLs, things like that, non-contact injuries that you can't prevent or stop. So listen, they were freak accidents, and I'm not worried about that.
Josh Simmons is his non-contact, or he got
Simmons was non-contact. His was non-contact. His against Oregon was non-contact. He's being touched by a player, but it's not. It was nothing that he was like tackled or anything like that. It was nothing like that. Was there anything else, Tim?
Y'all can get the number one that Jackson. We all be able to hold on, but to keep him committed until early signing day.
Who?
Jackson. The number
Jackson Cantwell.
Yeah.
I don't think we getting Jackson Cantwell. So his final teams are Ohio State, Oregon, Missouri was out of it. Michigan. Who are the other two teams? It was Ohio State, Oregon. I want to say Georgia, and I'm missing one more. No, I don't think Ohio State's going to get Jackson Cantwell. That it's, and like I don't know. I think that when you look at what Jackson Cantwell is looking, Miami was the fourth one. So Miami, Ohio State, Oregon, and Georgia. And I don't think Ohio State's going to get him, because he wants to be in a smaller city. Now, do I believe that with the rumblings saying that he is, like, some people think he's going to go to Miami, which Miami's not, it's not small, it's not completely, Miami's a big city compared to Columbus at least. But Columbus is not a small place at all. I think he's going to end up at Oregon. Timmy there?
Yeah, they said at one point he was going to Michigan, but they wasn't ready to offer him a deal yet. They want to wait and try and flip him.
Yeah, I think that's a misstep by Michigan. I don't believe that that's the way to go about it. I think, like, all right, Tim, but let's get real here. Let's get real here, right? Everyone in the chat, let's get real here. Especially for you guys out there. If there's a lady that you see, right, Tim, and like she the one, like you want to put a ring on her, you want to build a house with her, you want to have children with her. You don't wait on that. You don't wait for some other sucker to take her, and then you go and say after the fact, nah, baby, I want you now. After the dude don't want her anymore, nah, you go get that. You go get that joke. You go get that girl. You get that woman. So I don't so Michigan, that's what they should be doing right now. They should be like Ohio State, Oregon, Miami, and Georgia, and going what is Sebastian sing in Little Mermaid? Get the girl. Yeah, you gotta go get the recruit, bro. You gotta go get him. Was that all you got, bud?
One more. Are you your fan base, are y'all still mad that y'all got outpriced by Penn State?
For who? Jim Knowles?
For Jim Knowles?
No, he won me a national championship. He could do whatever he wants, and now I have a 3-time Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator on in my program.
So who was the other two guys?
Huh?
Who was the other two guys?
What do you mean other two guys?
The other two coordinators.
For Ohio State?
Yeah.
Matt Patricia, 3-time Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Hold up, Tim. There we go. There we go.
What's going on?
Is that new backdrop or?
Well, I told you this. I'm headed to this is my parents' place. This is my dad's office. We're here for a little bit of Easter here before I head to Chicago for our birthday party. So just got into town. So
yeah, that's funny. So
sorry, a little late.
So I'm babysitting for the next 2 days, because I'm at my parents' house. I'm in the living room right now. I was like, oh, it's a nice little backdrop.
It's the call-in show from the parents' house.
Yeah, man. But Tim, but yeah, to answer your question, Tim, I don't listen. At the end of the day, Jim Knowles is allowed to do what he wants to do. Jim Knowles is a legend. Jim Knowles is one of the top 3 defensive coordinators in Ohio State history, in my estimation. But, and Ryan's gonna hit me for that.
I have to go.
Oh, Tim.
Emergency. I have to go.
All right, Tim. Hey, hope everything's well, buddy. Be well.
All right.
OH. Before we bring oh shoot, what the heck?
It's all right. I'm back. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
I don't know why I got taken out for whatever
now
reason.
before we bring up my guy Rob here, let's go through some of these comments. Say my guy Rob, good to see you. Oh, I read this already. Here we go, Birds. Also, girls, and please, for God's sake, do not lick. No,
I guess probably after last week, I don't foresee him calling back in.
No. You know what? Listen, everyone. Listen, I want to give Caden his credit right here. So I was on the late night call last week, and he called into Mark's show, and he called in to apologize to Mark, and to let Mark know that he has seen the error of his ways. And I applauded. And I was like, you know what, buddy?
All right.
I like that. Now come on here and give us the same.
Yeah, I'd like some more coherent Buckeye talk.
Hey, Steve, LJ, retire, please. No, for God's sakes, yes. No,
I'm assuming you already talked about Atkinson and his visit.
No. And actually, I told Rob we will get to that. And actually, I'm gonna bring Rob up for this real quick. My guy from Buckeye Battle Cry.
What's up,
Rob,
you guys?
how you doing, bro?
I'm doing
What's
good.
going
Doing
on?
good, man. I'm doing good. Just
wait, dude. By the way, no, go ahead, Rob.
Peter and I, we're gonna be at the spring game on Saturday, dude. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to see what Bryce Underwood and all that. Not gonna lie, man. You always want to see how the number one recruit and all of college football is gonna be.
You mean the guy who looks like 250 pounds in pictures?
Hey,
I call him Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
No, dude. No,
literally. I wonder if he's going to be studying a game film.
No. So I do plan on going there. Like, unless I'm still babysitting, I do plan on going there. And I will have my camera out, Rob. I will be the counter stallions in the small house. And Rob, by the way, dude, because I'm listening to this show. Was it Amazing Madman's or John? It was maybe Johnny's show. It was Amazing Madman. No, Johnny's show. You came on and told about your whole story, man. I appreciate that. Ryan, you might not know this. Rob is a graduate of the Team Up North.
Oh,
he's a double agent, baby.
Yeah, double
Russian
agent,
spy.
man.
So you pulled the Andrew Dockage.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, dude, I've been dude. So the fandom started. Well, obviously it started before I decided to go to Michigan, and at that point it was like it was already ingrained. The hatred for the other team. Not well, I don't want to say hatred, but just the disdain for the other team, and just. People are like, well, did you go to games? I'm like, dude, I could never cheer for Michigan in my life. Even though I will say that, when I got into the honor society, I had to do some events, and I had to wear a Michigan sweatshirt. I had to wear Michigan gear. So, it was
that's what happens.
Well, yeah, it happens, man. But yeah, dude, I'm a Michigan grad, but. Yeah, but
it sounds like you made the right decision with your fandom.
Yeah, definitely. Jim Tressel, looked up to him a good, that's pretty much my childhood right there. And Maurice Claret, the ultimate Buckeye, my favorite Buckeye. Great turnaround story with him. I don't know if you probably seen Youngstown's Boys for 30 for 30.
Oh yeah,
one of my favorite documentaries of all time for that series. Other than the Miami Hurricanes, the U Part 2, just knowing that at the end they're still salty about the national championship game because at the end it says 6 natties and then they throw in a flag and then it goes down to 5. I'm like, oh man, they just had to throw that shot in there.
Yeah.
So have you guys seen on X, just, and this is just weird, just the weird alliance of Michigan fans, Tennessee fans, and Oregon fans. It's just like they're all in this club of let's hate Ohio State, let's beat up on their fans. It's just like seeing
Well,
the position that Oregon and Tennessee was in is just like it's kind of pathetic if you ask me.
it's all just if that all is born out of the fact that two of those teams couldn't beat Ohio State and the other team couldn't win a national championship. That's what that is.
Yeah,
Jealousy
it's
and
just
hatred.
Yeah, and then it's just
I think it's cute. I think it's cute.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind. I don't mind. Like when you're in. It's kind of like you're a young guy and you're in high school and you're probably talking to too many girls you shouldn't be talking to, and then they all find out a way to hate you because you do God knows what, and then they all start gossiping about you behind closed doors at the little girls' sleepover in high school, and that's what Tennessee, Oregon, and Michigan are. And mind you,
Yep.
we're over here hanging out with a cute girl named National Championship.
that's a
It sounds like some Garrison's been to this, guys.
yeah, that's actually a great analogy. But yeah, I'm just thinking like dude, we literally BTA Tennessee, they talked all their smack saying how they're gonna throw the field goal post into the Olentangy River, Nayland North and all that. And then you have Oregon 34 to 7 at halftime. I wonder if Dan Lanning was entertained or not. Couldn't even call timeout, which by the way, he had to use a loophole to beat Ohio State the first game. They were actually talking about that with busting on the boys, which Taylor Wan, I do not like that guy at all. Like any chance he gets, he takes a shot at Ohio State. But Dan Lanning's like, yeah, I wake up every morning, just thinking about that Rose Bowl loss, and I'm like, good. I'm glad you do, because you're arrogant. Like kudos to go on.
No, I was gonna say I don't know if you guys know where this is from, but I don't know if you guys watched the Dave Chappelle show. This is from from the Hate Olympics. I'm sorry, Rob. What were you saying, bro?
No, I was just saying, like, dude, kudos to them for winning the Big Ten the first year, but all their fans like, oh, it's this magical season and we're gonna win the national championship. And like they just thought like, oh, okay, like, we beat Ohio State the first time. It's gonna be easier next time. They're on this down trajectory just because, when they lost to Michigan. And just like before it's 34 to 7. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm starting to question, can Dan Lanning win the big games? And, it's hilarious that those things aren't talked about. But God forbid, Ryan Day has had trouble winning the big games, and that's talked about like over and over again. But no, nobody talks about Dan Lanning.
Sounds like Dan Lanning and Oregon are trying to. It sounds like they're broke boys because they're suing Ohio State for not beating Ohio State. Well, suing Carlos Lockwood.
I don't, Look, man. Let's be honest. Are you guys really hurting for that $400,000?
Yeah.
Are you really hurt? Like, I mean.
Well, that, and also like if you heard what Locke said, it was like, yeah, we like Ohio State paid 200 of it, and I tried to pay the other 200 of it, and they wouldn't take
it, right? And they wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
I mean, how dare they go after a God-fearing man like Carlos Lockwood? How dare they?
There's butthurt that he went to a better program.
And listen, it's understandable. If I was Oregon and they took my running back coach and now they're getting all the best running backs, and then they flipped Turbo Rogers and now they got Bo Jackson, and for some odd reason he's not slowing down, I'd be mad too if I was Oregon. I'd be mad if I had all this cheap labor. No. I was gonna make a Phil Knight joke. I was gonna make a Phil Knight joke, but it's too late for that. I already stopped myself.
Yeah, I say, hey,
Yeah.
he still sponsors Ohio State. Nike still announced Ohio
Yeah,
State.
yeah, we were LeBrons. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Phil Knight, he's like the Bill Gates of college football. You know, Bill Gates is putting all his money towards science before he dies. Phil Knight's putting all his money towards Oregon NIL before he dies. So, but
It's gonna be wasted money.
yeah, man. So what I want to come up here is what do you guys think about the defensive line? Because at the spring game, you know, I saw like the offensive line kind of, you know, bully them around. And, you know, then I go look at, you know, the depth chart and just the way it looks like the defensive line's a little undersized. I mean, like if we're looking at like 260, 270, that's like more for the edge position. But actually, no, Caden McDonald's the only one. I mean, he's 319, but you know, when you're at like, I think Edric Houston, what is he at, like 270, 275?
275 about.
Yeah, I mean, as
I
far as
how's it?
well, I was gonna say, as far as the defensive line goes, I know me and Garrison talked about it on Monday. I am certainly concerned because of what I saw out of the starters. They didn't really get any push up front, and you know, it was kind of hard to tell. It was like, is it because the offensive line was so good, or is it because the defensive line is so bad? And I tend to think it's the latter, because I mean, I do think the offensive line's like going to be pretty decent. Like they return a lot of guys who played a lot of football last year, but under no circumstances should it be that the starting offensive or the starting defensive line couldn't get any push whatsoever. So deeply concerned, and that's why they're going after Bo Atkinson in the transfer portal. You know, he's someone from North Carolina. I know, you know, we were about to talk about it before we brought you in, but you know, he's a guy who had 7.5 sacks last year for North Carolina. He's someone who can definitely get some pressure off the edge, and quite frankly, I think Ohio State needs help across the board on the defensive line after what I saw on Saturday. Like initially, I thought it was just gonna be more up front in the middle with the defensive tackles, but Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson didn't really do a whole lot for me, and I was expecting more from them. So any help up front, I'm bring them in. Anybody who's going to be starter caliber, let's get them in for a visit. Let's see if they can play.
So
Yeah.
I'm of the mindset. So well, Robert, here you go. I'll talk about it now. Bo Atkinson. I think if Ohio State is able to get him, what it does for this D line, it does a lot for this D line. This is why. Last year, we're talking JTT 6'3", 275. Jack Sawyer is 6'2", 265, 260. You're talking Tyleek and Ty, each of them being 300 plus, right? 305 plus. If you're not, I tweeted this earlier. If you're not gonna have a lot of size on the D line, make sure they are athletic and versatile. If you get Bo Atkinson, I think that takes your defense to a different level but in a different way. Will you probably struggle to stop the run? Maybe, but like let's sometimes it's more about how you run your scheme.
Go ahead. No, what I was going to say is you got guys who can help stop the run in Sonny Styles and Caleb Bounds. Like those guys can come downhill and play.
Like Bo Atkinson's, you're talking 6. Well, he's 6. How tall is he? 6'4".
I think he's 6'4".
6'4", 260. When you talk about Edric, about around the same height, but 270, 275. You still got Ty, who's a bigger boy. Again, when it comes to Moore and Malone, we still got to see it. But then you're talking about Kenyatta Jackson being around 260. You're talking Caden Curry around 250. Am I right?
That's about right. You might be a little bit bigger than that, but.
And then you have a bunch of other guys to suit in. And then what do you have at linebacker? The great thing about having Matt Patricia,
Caden Curry's 6'3", 260. Just want to clear that up.
Okay, that's better than I thought. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about having Matt Patricia is multiple, and Matt Patricia will happily run a 3-4 if he has to. I believe Ohio State has the personnel, as Ryan just said, at linebacker to do that if need be. I do think I think we're able to do that. Because then you're talking about like just listen to an imaginary world, right? In my football brain. Let's say you went Edric up the middle, you went. I'm sorry, you went Todd. You went down in the middle. You went either you go Kenyatta and Edric, or Edric, Kenyatta, or Atkinson, and at linebackers. But that means you're putting what? Probably putting Hicks at the edge. You can put Sonny at the edge. You can put Arbel in the middle or on the edge. I think this defense has we're not as deep as last year, but I think we're much more athletic and much more versatile. I truly believe that. And so D-lines have worked for me as of right now. But if we get Agason, I think that does wonders for us.
Got to fight Georgia for him, though.
Yeah. I am disappointed. Like, I mean, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of hype surrounding Malone, the transfer from Ole Miss. He just seems like it didn't pan out. Wasn't he a basketball player as well? Didn't he play basketball too?
He played baseball.
Oh, baseball, right. I'm guessing they made him choose one sport if you wanted to come.
They did. If you want to come to Ohio State, it's like, yeah, you got to stop playing baseball. I mean, he was a first baseman. Like, he could hit the ball pretty decent. I think he had like a 315 average or something like that. But he's been a pretty decent disappointment so far. And he was one of the guys me and Garrison were talking about. We need to see something from him during the spring game, and saw nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he could have gone out there and hit a dinger for me. I'd have been happy with that in his play. I mean, then Jason Moore.
Yeah.
Jason Moore, bro. And I do want to point this out. And Ryan, I think we spoke to this.
We did.
There is a really good chance that the old line is just that damn good.
Well,
sure. Like not that good, but I do want to point this out. In a game where the passer run ratio is 10-1, right? Mm-hmm. And as a D lineman, you can't hit the quarterback. How hard are you going? Like, and again, I've told people this before. When I was doing spring games, and for anyone else I've talked to that play spring games at a higher level than me, dude, we don't see that as real football. The same way, like I tried not to grade quarterbacks too hard on the spring game because no one on that defensive line is trying to take your head off. And that's just the truth of the matter. I think we talked about it on Monday with even Max Clare. Now, he probably had still caught the ball, maybe so. It was very clear that Malik and Caleb Downs held up on that play, on that touchdown, or else they probably would have sandwiched him. So.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's like I'm like super concerned, but I mean, I'll be concerned in the first quarter against Texas if I don't see any push.
Run through ours. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And then just like they go up against Penn State. I think Penn State is going to have the best backfield in college football. They always have a pretty stout offensive line. And then, maybe there's that, Illinois game where, they're a pretty physical smash mouth team. And then you have, of course, Michigan, who, they'll have a, pretty strong running game, offensive line. But yeah, that other than that, I think all the other positions, they're pretty solid, secondary, linebackers,
they're actually having questions at corner at Michigan.
Really?
Yep. Because
this
is the reason why. Because
he keeps talking about Ohio State. You're talking about Michigan.
I heard Michigan. And then
I'm talking about Ohio State.
I must have.
No, there are no questions.
I'm talking about
Ohio State.
Yeah, at Ohio State. But no, I'm not surprised that there's questions at corner at Michigan. I mean, they were god awful last year. I mean, their secondary wasn't even top 60. They were like between 80 and 90. It was awful.
Well, they're losing a corner who's afraid to run a 40-yard dash so everyone can find out how slow he actually is.
Who's that?
Will Johnson.
Will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. But all right, you guys. Well, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Always nice to come on here and talk Ohio State football. Yeah, but I'm sure I'll see you on Garrison. I'm sure I'll see you on the
let
Johnny
everyone know where to find. Let everyone know where to find you, Rob. to find you and Pete?
Yeah. You can find my co-host Peter and I on Buckeyes Battle Cry. Battle Cry is it's one word together. So
Good song.
Well, appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, no problem. You guys have a good
All right,
night.
see you, bro.
See you, Rob. Do you want to do some reading here before we bring in our next caller?
Of course I do. Of course I do. Yeah, big boss here. Big boss said so. So, everyone, get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. Let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, which will be Win Agency, posted here on the screen. Great people over there also at the Win Agency. We are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships at vocfb.com today. Right. By the way, dude, I didn't know, Ryan. Are you much of a whiskey drinker?
Not really, but I like. I mean, I will. It's just not my drink of choice.
I was gonna say, if you ever have a chance,
I see you sipping on something.
Oh yeah, get Old Bar Son. It's a Kentucky mash. It's really good. Really good.
Okay. All right. Keep that in
That
mind.
and 3 glasses of water.
Yes, you don't fall flat on your ass.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and bring in our next caller.
Yeah. Wait, Dan, is this Burks?
No, this is not Burks. This is Dan for the love
Dan,
of God.
no, because I saw someone.
No,
put
he
Burks
was yelling at Burks in the private chat. Oh, I'm not sure what happened to Garrison there, but yeah, you were yelling at Burks in the chat. But what do you got for us, Dan?
The Burks, I saw him in the comments asking me to get on here. He was waiting to get on here to say something to me. So, Burks, get your butt on here right now. I got a little challenge for you, a little proposition.
Wait, is this Dan or is this Dan?
Yeah, Dan. You don't know Caden, the man, the most hated Ohio State fan on YouTube.
It sounded like Caden.
But in real life, my name is Dan. So Burks, I'm asking you to get your butt in here, boy. Get in here right now. I got a little challenge.
Caden. I heard you go on Mark's show last week and be very calm, cool, and collected. That's what I need today.
I'll be calm as long as you bring him on because I got a little business proposition.
Burks is one of my nice Michigan friends. We're gonna be respectful up here. Burks will be respectful too. If Burks is calling up, but
because I got a little challenge for Burks.
Okay. All right,
Let's go ahead and bring him in then.
Let's bring in Burks. Oh God.
Oh, I think I got it.
Okay, Burks, how you doing, brother?
What's up, my man, Garrison and Ryan? How are you guys?
I'm doing good. So, all right, so we're gonna do this cool, calm, and collectively. Caden, what did you have to say, buddy?
Yeah, is this the man they call Burks?
Yeah, it's me, man. It's me, all right.
I've been waiting to say this to you for 5 months. But I've got a little proposition deal for you.
All right, what is it, man?
On my channel this Sunday, unsanctioned. You and I can go at it all day long. Just you and me, brother. Unsanctioned, no rules, no nothing. Just you and me. You want to get it on with me? Let's get it on this Sunday. I will come on here and I will call you out on my own channel.
I'm sure, Ryan.
All right, no, hey, listen. I'll join. The only problem is you send me the link or I'll join. It's just that I can't
just
do
subscribe to my channel, dummy.
Wait. I can't.
Whoa. Wait. Burks. 1 second, Burks. Katie, this is a personal thing of mine. I refuse to have any name calling on this channel, especially up here on the phone call, because I don't want it ran that way. I want to be respectful up here. Now,
yeah, we'll kick you out.
I want us all to be gentlemen. We're all gentlemen here. We all put our underwear on the same way. So, I hope.
Do you have anything for us, Caden, besides wanting to talk to Burks?
Caden, anything for us?
Just that Ohio State is going to be a good team this year, and not only is the defense going to do the job that they should do. Let me just say this: in my opinion, Ohio State is known as the hurt syndicate of the Big Ten. That defense just likes to hurt people for a living. I mean, do we all not understand that? I mean, let's be honest. Georgia's not the only team who can play hard-nosed, hard-hitting defense. Ohio State is also another team that can play hard-nosed and hard-hitting defense. Can we agree on that?
Sure.
In the secondary and at the linebacker unit, yeah.
And we're just about
the defensive line. Let's not forget the D line. The D line is also a part of that group, Garrison. So let's not forget the D line.
I don't think the D. I don't know a damn thing about that D line right now.
Yeah, we thought we did.
Hey, I have something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Berg.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a question, right? Like, I'm curious. Don't you feel like fans like Caden the Man who are so arrogant, right? Give your fan it's a big reason why your fan base can be hated because Caden the Man is just nothing is negative with Caden the Man. Nothing.
No, he's like listen. I listen. I want to point this out for Caden because Burks, you have heard people on many channels call me the most arrogant Buckeye.
No, you're not arrogant. I don't listen. I don't think you're that arrogant.
I'm kind of happy that Caden's here so he can take that mantle from me. No, listen. I have heard Caden be a non-arrogant fan, and that's all I want from Caden. But here's the problem. And Caden, forgive me for saying this, okay? It's nothing bad, but this has to be said because I brought this up last show to you to your front doorstep last show or last Thursday. Now, I'm 32 years old, and I have been able to live through the golden years, as my friend Ryan has also, I think, Ohio State football, which I would call 2000 on, right?
I was going to say.
These have been the golden years of Ohio State football. Caden, even more so, has lived, because Caden, you're how old again, 24?
He said he's 21.
21.
So he has lived an even better life than I have. So I think that's, well, I guess not really because I've seen 3 championships. But
I also seen 3 championships, buddy. I got 3 rings on my fingers right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, 2002.
But you were
2-3 years old.
You didn't even remember crap during that time. Did they even count for you?
Well, I've got the 2002 ring.
You didn't see Louis McGahee's leg bend like a Twizzler. You didn't get to see that.
Well, my uncle did, but I also rewatched the footage. Come on.
Okay.
I was basically born after we won that national championship against Miami. Come on.
But Burks, this is why I will say that. I mean, Ryan, I guess if you want to, you can answer. But and this is why I have come to grips with over the last few years. I'm aware that my fan base is probably the most rabid out there. I am aware that my fan base is probably the craziest. And I have learned to live with that. I'm okay with it. Some of us are on the chiller fringe. Some of us, like my co-hosts, are on the lunatic fringe and want to fire Ryan Day.
Card carrying member.
So no, it all depends. But Burks, it's the same way. I can name a lot of because I frequent in the Michigan spaces, but I can name a lot of Michigan fans that are. Nice.
Delusional? Oh, the nice. Okay.
Well, I'm being nice with the terms,
Look, I've got no problem with anybody being super positive. What there are certain times that certain fans say things that border on delusional. Yes, which you can be positive all you want, but you gotta stay within the realm of reality.
Dude, but I'm telling you, it destroys reputation of the fan base. There's some Buckeye fans. There's this one and Buckeye Boys. It's actually a female, and she says some outrageous stuff. and she's becoming a meme at this point on Twitter. So that's the issue there. You know what I'm saying? If a Michigan, this is why there's some Michigan Twitter accounts that I don't like this guy named Don Thomas, because all he does is troll. All he does is troll. He's actually acts like such a dumbass. The guy actually, he doesn't shut up. It's like, bro, stop it. You're a reputation of a fan base is getting destroyed because you keep posting stuff.
Dude, Bergs, you know what's funny about that? Bergs, what's funny about that is gotten to a point where I refuse. Like, it's not even about like giving that person attention or anything like that. I just refuse to even like quote or joke about it now because I'm like, dude, this is just a normal thing for you now, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, and that's what I'm saying. I want my fan base to be the best fan base, to have the best reputation. But this is why I got Twitter.
That's impossible.
You know, when I had Twitter, I got blocked by almost every Michigan like popular Twitter account because I told them, it's like, dude, stop this. You're acting like an idiot, a fool, all this stuff. They blocked me right away. You know, that's just me, and that's what I'm saying. It's like there's some Ohio State fans who say some delusional stuff. So I just want to know your guys' view on this stuff.
One second. Steve, buddy, there's a difference between calling someone arrogant. Like, I'll give you an example. If someone in an argument called me arrogant, I would okay. You call me a dummy. What? That's implying something different.
There is a difference.
Yeah, that's implying something. It's like nah. It's like if you say the word sweetheart, it's just much different. It's much different. I think you're talking about someone's character at that point.
We good here. We squash some sort of beef here, or are you guys gonna
here on the call-in show here?
I don't know, man. He's too disrespectful to Mark Rogers. So I don't know what to say until he becomes better than Mark Rogers and all these hosts. Maybe then we can squash some beef. But right now, I don't think any beef has been squashed yet.
I'm asking Caden.
I don't.
Sorry, I was talking to my buddy over here, one of my former teammates that I played high school football with. What was your question, by the way?
Is the beef squashed?
Is the beef squashed?
Yeah, you guys no more beef, right?
I couldn't hear Burks because I was calling my friend.
Berg said OHIO.
No, I did not say that. No. I said OH 1310. How about that?
Okay. Wait, Burks, are you going to be in the stream game?
Of course, man. Of course, bro. I hope I get to see you and you get to troll Maniac.
Yeah.
And
if I'm not like, because I might have something like family wise that might get my way. Otherwise, I do plan on getting there. I'm not gonna pass up a free. Listen, dude, I like free football no matter what, and it's a chance to sit there and illegally scout you guys, make a bunch of like 30-second clips, and then go and DM it to the Ohio State football program, which I do plan on doing.
You also get to watch Bryce Underwood eat 4 Big Macs on the sideline.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait, no, bro, it's the east side. It's the east side of the state, so it's more like they eat White Castle.
Okay, but whatever. So then 8 crave cases.
Yeah, it's kind of like and also I mean, Bergs. I mean, I do want to give myself an excuse to get some Zingermans.
Oh yeah, man. Try the applesauce. The applesauce is like too freaking good.
I'm just gonna get a Reuben.
Reuben, yeah.
I'm a basic.
Yeah, I just hope you don't get in a fight with Maniac because I'm gonna not let that happen, man. I don't want.
No, I told you, man. Listen, if he wants to yell that listen, Maniac's my guy, but I'm trying not to yell at people anymore.
Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. What in Johnny Olden, I did not really like kind of what Maniac. Maniac went too overboard with you. Like I'm not gonna.
Bro, did you see me light my candle in the background?
No,
I tried it. That's my tobacco honey scented candle. I tried everything to calm down, and it wouldn't work, Ryan.
Dude, you were showing stuff. Why were you showing stuff to Maniac? I did not understand that.
Because I didn't want to listen to him, and so I was like, I had him on. I had my volume on mute. So
my god, I did not know that. That's just so funny, bro. That was great.
I'm Tom Petty. So
yeah, this is why I respect you, Garrison. You actually go on the shows, Michigan shows, and you're like fighting for your life, and I respect that. I do that with Ohio State shows, so like you're kind of like a role model. I won't lie, all right? Because I go on Ohio State shows. And I try and call in, and that's why Caden the man has beef with me. He wants to shut me up when I'm talking trash about Ohio State. Well, I'm not really talking trash.
No, man, listen.
I never talk trash about Ohio State.
I run this channel. I run this channel like the leader of the free world does. There's no free speech.
Yeah, we'll let people come in, but I mean, they gotta, yeah. Well,
yeah, man. I come from a Buckeye family, so I have like I'm never like
you kid.
That's what I was about to say.
I come from my cousins and my uncle went to Ohio State. I have ties, but I just Michigan is just so much cooler, so that's why I'm a fan. But I always respect Ohio State a lot. I don't really bash them, like that. If I ever bash it, either the fan base, some of the fan base, or just like maybe like these news Ohio State, like something like Scoop that says they know everything, or else that's really it. Like I know Ohio State's a really good program. I know they're one of the greatest programs of all time and better 21st century, better than Michigan since 1960. They are, unfortunately. So, I just, yeah, but like I said, I do really hope to see you though on Saturday, Garrison.
No, I hope to be there too, man, so I can get all my illegal scouting done.
Yeah, and last question before I leave. How do you like Julian Sayin? Like, you think like he's gonna be the starter, or you think Lincoln is, or is it too early right now? Because they both played good.
Right?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I'm not like. I still think that. I mean, Garrison, I know you're like all up in on Mr. Lincoln.
No.
You've been talking him up. You've been talking him up all off season.
I talked him up simply that I thought he could push Julian.
Which he has. Which you know what, and that was kind of my point. Is he was someone he's pushed him more than I thought. Sayin definitely outperformed him in the spring game. I still think he's going to be a starter. I still think he's on track for that. It's a good sign that Lincoln hasn't entered the transfer portal yet. That was something I was a bit concerned about, just because of the depth behind him. So I thought he was a transfer candidate coming into the spring game, but it seems like he's going to stay. But it's probably going to be Sayin, unless something drastic happens in the fall.
I don't. I think Julian is going to win the job. And in the practices, they said that Lincoln had been outperforming them. Outperforming Julian Sayin. But when the time came to play, because we saw Julian with the twos at first, and then when he got with the ones, I'll be honest with you, man. Bergs, I think Julian Sayin's throwing 40 touchdowns this season. I think he's gonna struggle in the first couple games, but when I say struggle, I mean like when C.J. Stroud played his first two games against Minnesota and Oregon, we saw that as struggling. Struggling with 300-something yards, 2 touchdowns, and maybe an interception.
I remember that game, yeah. And then C.J. Stroud.
I think Julian is going to be it's funny, and it can be rivalry banter and all that, but I feel like a lot of people forget that Julian Sayin at one point was like, it was interchangeable in his class about who was the number one quarterback depending on what site you went to.
Yeah.
He was top 3 with DJ Lagway, who I think is probably going to be, who I think might be the best quarterback in college football if he lives up to potential, and Dylan Raiola, who is seen as one of the most talented players in college football as a quarterback. So, and last time Ryan Day had a quarterback from California, it worked out well.
It sure did. Yeah, no, the only issue with Julian saying is maybe his size and he needs to gain weight. Like he really reminds me of a Tua, that's what he reminds me of. I don't think he's like 6'1", but he might even be a little shorter, maybe 6'1.5". Who really cares? If he has an arm, dude, uh, it doesn't matter. And I think Ohio State will be pretty good. So
I hope he could not just gain a few pounds, but gain a few, inches to his height also.
yeah,
Like it'd be nice if he was Tavian St. Clair size.
yeah, no, because I saw pictures of him and Will Howard, bro, and Will Howard was just like towering over him. If you see like the picture of Julian Sand losing his black stripe, so his height is kind of like his size too. Like he can take one nasty hit and get injured. He needs to gain some weight. Who knows? Maybe he gains an inch or two, but if he has the arm talent, man, it doesn't matter. NFL's at this point, man. 6 foot pound, or not 6 foot, 6 foot QBs can get drafted first round easy at this point. It doesn't really matter at this point.
So,
No.
Bruce, let me ask you a question here, okay?
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about Mr. Muffin Top?
Oh, Mr. Muffin Top. Yeah, it doesn't matter about his weight. He can be 250, bro. I don't care. If he can throw the damn ball, man, and perform, you think I give a crap? Like, look at Jamarcus Russell and these guys, man. They were like fat as hell, and look at him, right? So I'm not worried about the weight stuff, the muffin stuff. What I'm worried about is I'm not taking any of this receiver hype, man. Like, because remember last year we had some receiver hype. Look what happened. So there's some receiver hype, man. I am not taking a single shit of that. All right. Bryce Underwood hype, yes, I'm taking that, but I'm not taking any of the receiver hype. And so that's going to be the issue. Is I think Bryce Underwood will be good, but how many yards will he throw? It's going to really depend on the receivers also. Bryce Underwood can make the receivers good, but that's the issue there. So yeah.
Well, that no Loveland, there's no tight end there to help.
Exactly. And our tight end classes, the other two tight ends, like Marvin Klein is just a blocker. He can't really get open. And then Hogan Hansen have some potential, but we'll see,
No, I've said this to a few fans because I've heard his floor. You're looking for what kind of season are you expecting out of a freshman? Because they're like, oh, it's the best thing since Trevor Lawrence. I'm like, okay, well, go look at what Trevor Lawrence had on his team.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I like Jordan Marshall. I'm not the biggest fan of Justin Haynes because I think he's a one-trick pony as a running back, and I think Jordan Marshall's the real deal.
Jordan Marshall's also young.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Trevor had a junior year. Trevor Etienne, that's a different type of running back.
Travis Etienne, yeah.
That's a different type of running back than what Michigan has. He can do it all.
Yeah, I agree.
Receivers. It's different. He had the whole old. Cause people forget when Trevor Lawrence came in, they were in the national championship the season before. So I'm really interested to see what. I mean, a lot of Buckeye fans get on me about this. I am a Bryce Underwood truther, and that's probably because I am from the state of Michigan. I have seen the kid played live twice in high school. I am very well versed in high school football in the state of Michigan. But no, again, the only way I believe you ruin someone like him is through coaching.
No, I agree.
Question is, for when it comes to you guys up north, is your quarterback coach up to the challenge? Yeah. And I've asked this question a few times, Burks. I kind of want to ask you this because I understand that he coached Drake May for one season.
Yeah.
Does it worry you that you're talking about a coordinator who goes in and out of high school?
Yeah, no, it does. Dude, listen, it does worry me. And keep in mind, when he did coach Drake May did have a down season. He only coached Drake May for his junior year.
Huh?
Did he coach Drake May his junior year, Chip Lindsey?
Yeah, the season before he was in an air raid, and then the next season he came in, gave him some more balance. Now the stats weren't as crazy, but I did also think that Drake May had I wouldn't say a better season, but he learned more the next season because it was something that was more to translate to the NFL.
Yeah, Chip Lindsey's a wait and see. To tell you the truth, I was not that happy with the hire, but it's a wait and see. Kind of like how Notre Dame got who was at Ohio State, who won the DC. Forgot his name. He was a DC who won in 2014. Ohio State coach. The Notre Dame hired him as a DC. Oh, Chris
Yeah,
Ash.
Chris Asher. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rutgers ended up
It's kind of like
hiring him
that.
for a
It's
head
wait and
coach.
see.
Yeah.
It's wait and see, man. It's wait and see. So I don't know, man. Like, yeah, the coach can destroy Bryce Underwood. It's possible, but I'm really confident in Bryce Underwood's abilities. What I'm just concerned is the receiver depth and tight end play and O-line. I'm actually not that concerned. I think it's gonna get better, but we'll see. 10-2 is my prediction. No matter what, 10-2 or better. So.
Tell you what, that Oklahoma game got a lot tougher now that they went ahead and got kicked.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's crazy. 10-2 is what I feel. Listen, if we don't make the playoffs, it is a disappointing season no matter what. That's Michigan, you know. At this point, if you don't make the playoffs, it's a disappointing season. And if we beat you guys again and we don't make the playoffs, it's a disappointing season. I'm sorry. That's all I'm gonna say, you know. Like,
I'll jump off a bridge if that happens.
I'm happy you said that, Burst, because like me personally, I've so I remember my buddy Bryce, and I don't know if you ever watched the Scarlet Blue show, but my buddy Bryce and I that are on there. We once had a conversation / argument, and I told him I don't. And Burst, maybe you'll disagree with me, and that's fine. But I told him I don't believe for you guys as of right now to be an elite program. And he asked me why. I said, well, I need more than 5 years of evidence for you to be called an elite program. I do think that the same way I tell people, I think you can fall in and out of grace when it comes to being a blue blood. Yes, you may be one historically, but over time, we have different generations, the same way we have Gen Z. We have the baby boomers. Different generations, or we classify things different ways. And so what I'm really interested in seeing out of you guys this year, you know, 8-5 after a national championship is not what you're looking at, not what you want to look at, right? So my question is, do you have the talent makeup to walk out there with a freshman possibly, or Mikey Keene or whatever at quarterback and make the playoffs? Can you beat Oklahoma and Norman? And if I had to guess right, I'm gonna guess that game's gonna, because they're SEC, that game's gonna be on ESPN, and ESPN they're gonna make that a night. They're going to make that a night game. Yeah, I still want to see Michigan. Yeah,
Michigan's schedule is baby shit soft, so
I don't think
that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why we make the playoffs. It's because it is crap.
Baby shit soft. I don't.
We talked about this before. I don't see any way that they're. I even think a little bit higher of the team than Burks does. He seems to think they'll go 10-2. I said it would be a disappointment if they didn't come into the game undefeated, but just how soft the schedule is. I mean, Oklahoma, they're still not very good. I mean, yeah, they got Ott back. Jackson Arnold
I think they're better at quarterback. I think they're better at running back. I think they're just as good as of right now, at the least at offensive line. Wide receiver, they're better. In defense, probably not as good, but the defense is still damn good. And I am taking Brent Ven. I think Brent Venables is a better coach than Sherrone Moore.
Has he shown that yet? I'm not sold that either one of them is that good of a coach. But you look at the rest of their schedule. The only other games I can see them losing before Ohio State is maybe at USC, but I don't think USC is going to be very good.
Wait. Name the schedule, because I think there's a 4 to 5 game stretch. And I can't remember who's on there. That I think is hard.
So they start. It's at Oklahoma. It's home against Central Michigan. At Nebraska.
Start right there. At Nebraska.
Okay. Home against Wisconsin. At USC. Home against Washington. At Michigan State. Home against Purdue. At Northwestern. At Maryland. Home against Ohio State.
I don't think that 4 or 5 game stretch is easy. I don't Michigan State is still going to be a big game. Mind you, they could have lost that game last year, and you're talking year 2 with Aiden Childs and Nick Marsh, who is possibly I think he's the top 5 to 10 wide receiver in college football. And I think they're going to be better on defense, and I think they have a better.
Also, I forgot they play against New Mexico to start the season, so forgot about the Lobos.
Yeah. But I think in that game is still going to be a big game. Nebraska. I think like when we at face value, we can
Crayola
say
will be better.
but these teams also get better, just like Michigan do. Like teams, Nebraska got better. Michigan State got better.
Crayola should get a little better.
Well,
I don't know about Michigan State.
What if he
Michigan
takes
State
that?
will maybe get a little bit better.
What if he takes that? What if Rilo takes that crazy jump?
He still doesn't have wide receivers to throw to or a good defense, so that's kind of a problem.
Who are the other teams? Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, but they get Wisconsin at home.
USC is going to be a tough
At
game.
USC. At
That's
USC might be tough.
That's a tough game.
Got anything else for us, Bergs?
No, that's basically it. It'll be a fun season, and good luck to your team this season. And hopefully I see you, Garrison. If I don't see you, then I'll keep you in my heart, in my brain, all that stuff. So yeah.
If I'm not at the game, that means I didn't get past Ypsilanti.
Or Maniac wants to actually knock you out. One of those two.
Yeah, listen. I'm a Buckeye. Lawsuit.
Yeah.
I'll treat that as putting the flag on my field. I'll call the governor.
Oh, nice.
Wait. Do we have? Does Ohio have a
Also,
governor now?
I do just want to clear something up here. That interview that you said to look up, that Justin Fields thing, I have seen that. You do realize that is dubbed over like it's a fake, right? Like Yoder did that on purpose.
Yeah, I realized that just now. So
all right, okay,
Oh, good.
all right.
Yeah. I was like studying it, and I'm like, oh shit, Yoder and stuff. And then I'm like, oh god, man. So I was literally like fooled myself. Like because it was on YouTube. It was like on my, and I clicked, it said Justin Fields 400K Mercedes Benz.
You know what's funny? You know what's
Yeah.
funny? I almost have the trifecta of like lunatic French bases. Like so, Yoder follows me on X. Scoop just followed me on X, but I haven't got Spyro yet.
Oh, Spiro. Oh my god.
I haven't,
just
bother with him.
I haven't got him to follow.
Dude, he is such a dude. He's so pathetic, man. He's like talking all Ohio State stuff, saying they're the best, and he's like, dude, talk about your program. Why are you praising
wait, Bergs, you gotta remember, Bergs. There is something that intertwines us over the last 20 years, and it's the fact that Mark D'Antonio was their head coach and destroyed you guys for a very long period of time. And Mark D'Antonio, he is a champion. He is a national champion at that.
They gave us problems too.
The Ohio State Buckeyes. So we got to side with him.
Dude,
Spiro's a
so
troll.
sad.
I'll go ahead and just
sad.
say that.
It's
What?
so sad at OSU and MS, but I love it. This is why I'm blessed to be a Wolverine fan. OSU and MSU have to make an alliance.
How do you feel that Bo? Ohio State. We're not going to claim Bo. You guys can claim him.
I don't even like Bo. I don't even like Bo, to tell you the truth. He's overrated. So. I would take Woody over Bo any day. I wish we had.
Well, I think Lloyd Carr is the best coach in Michigan history.
No, I agree. Lloyd Carr is the best. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, he also oversaw a bunch of unseemly stuff with that program, with the doctor involved. That's all I'll say.
Actually, you know what? I like Lloyd Carr now. He's a fighting Irish.
Is he still kicking? No, like, is he okay? I wasn't sure. I know he's been pretty awful.
I know what Garrison's trying to do right now, but it's fine. Garrison, you're my guy. So
what did I say, Bergs? Did I say anything? I take
I know
well, you know me,
what
Bergs.
do, but I'm fine. Listen, I'm chill with you, so I don't really care. But if this was Marmar or Maniac, they would be on your ass. I'm just letting you know.
You said what?
If this was Marmar and Maniac, then these guys would be...
and you know what I would do as soon as they start yelling at me?
Yeah.
Mute.
Guess I'll probably hit the mute button.
and I'll let Ryan listen to everything.
All right, man.
All right.
Take care, man. Take care.
All right, see you, Berks. All right.
All right,
I
man.
did want to hit one more thing before we
Yeah,
went
go
ahead
ahead.
and
What's up?
headed out. Just want to give a shout out to Lee Corso.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
3-decade run doing mascot picks, 4-decade run doing College Game Day, and working for ESPN. And he's going to retire. For those who don't know, I'm sure everyone on this channel has already seen, but he is retiring after his final show on August 30th, which happens to be week 1.
Mhm.
There is an excellent chance that Game Day will be at the shoe for that game, for the Texas-Ohio State game. And quite frankly, it would be fitting. That way he can put Brutus on for the last time, just like he put Brutus on for the first time. So shout out to Corso. Maybe should have stepped away a little bit sooner, but I know he loves the game. He'll be 90 when that show comes around. So, good for him. He's one of the legends of college football, and he, hopefully he dons Brutus one last time.
Yeah, I for a guy like us, he's part of our childhood.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes. And I say this quote till today. I got from, I think it was NCAA football. Was it Joey Harrington was on the cover of 2002? Was it?
I think it was yeah, it was 2000. It might have been 03. It was either 02 or 03.
Yeah, 02, yeah, 03 or 02, one of the two. But he says, luck is nothing but hard work meeting opportunity. He says that in the game. And I've always loved saying that. But no, a big thank you to Lee Corso. You can't talk college football without mentioning his name. Now he is part of the Air Force. He's not Navy, so there's that. But
yeah,
there's not a more fitting way. Sometimes the football guys do what they need to do, and it's not more fitting in week 1. Everyone knows game day is going to be in Columbus.
Should be.
And he's going to be
in Columbus for a big noon game.
I don't think. I think they're going to do everything they can to make sure the game's at night. 3:30.
We'll see what Ross does. We'll see what Ross
does. If Ross does this, he's the GOAT. But no, I think Lee Corso. A lot of us bitched about him over the last 2 years. But a lot of that is because we don't want to see him how he was when we have these great,
It was just sad to just kind of see the way he was going out. You know what I mean? That's why,
So thank you, Lee Corso, and
yes,
and shout out to Steve here. Desmond Howard, get older faster.
Yeah, well, that's why they got Pat McAfee in there to take and Nick Saban. Hopefully, they keep them instead of Desmond.
And no one can remember the greatest quote from Lee Corso ever. Fuck it.
Yeah, that was going around social media today, which is pretty funny.
I remember watching that live. I was like, oh.
No, I know. And you look at Kirk's face, and then Fowler goes face down. Yeah, it's pretty funny. You got anything before we head out?
Yep. Just a quick shout out to all of our members. That would be Doreen, Agent Posh, Queen Doreen, one of our favorites. Boo Wolverine, thank you, buddy. When Stars Align, Bootzilla, Jordan Kapler, Grizz, Robert Howard, Jam OSU, Philip Buford, Doug Shepard Sr., and John Bruce Ferguson. We thank you guys for being part of the community, and the rest of you because you're still in the community, even though if you haven't joined the membership. If you haven't yet, please, if you would like to, pretty soon here we'll be having a lot more content coming out, especially during the season. And we're probably more than likely to put all that on there. So if you would like to see all that, we'd love to have you there. And then just on top of that, and you don't have to do any of that. The only thing we do ask you to do is to hit the like button as you come. As always, free. That's the only currency we ask for. And a big thank you to everyone here.
Absolutely. Co-sign everything Garrison just said. We will be back with you on Monday. I think we'll both be back in our normal dwellings at that time.
I'm not gonna lie, I do like the backdrop here at my parents' house, but I can't use it because
I mean, this chair is more comfortable than the one I've
got. And Ryan, I finally, I didn't bring up the Jeremiah one today, but I brought out the the black numbers on top. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The running back.
I got the Natty shirt on, so that's what we got. But yeah, we will see you guys.
Should we start? Let's start looking for Cuba Zirconia a fake championship ring for Ohio State. Show.
Actually, one of my friends, she had her Big Ten ring out because she worked for the team when they won the Big Ten title back in 2017. So that was a nice ring, and it had the Cotton Bowl in there too. It was pretty large.
That was USC or Washington.
That was USC. It was USC. Washington was a Rose Bowl.
Yeah, we should have blanked them in that game. USC was not. They scored that. They had that bullshit.
Yeah, because Sam Darnold's a turnover machine. He had like 4 in that game. But yeah, we will see you guys on Monday at 8. OH.
IO.